Hello, beautiful people. Friday, it's Friday, wherever we're at. Vrijdag in Dubai, Vrijdag in Joburg, Vrijdag in wherever you are tuning into. Welcome to our live draw. So, this is essentially where we find out on new gen and on old gen who faces who's going to get the nice fixtures, who's going to get the bad fixtures, etc., etc. So, with with that being said, let's just gooi a look here at the comments. Hello to everybody who's joined. Thank you for joining me and spending your time with me in on your Friday evening. So, I'm not going to take too much of your time. We're going to get straight down into business. But before we do that, let me just show you guys. Um, so what I have on the second screen, you'll see if I greet you over here, is we have our sponsored jars. Our sponsors, Yummie Popcorn, were sponsoring the New Gen Cup. Um, just if you guys need a reminder of that, it will come here at the bottom right now. So yeah, if you look closely in the jars, so if I bring it closer to me here, you'll see everybody is here at the bottom. I'm basically going to put my hand in, grab the name out, and whoever comes out is in the fixture list over there. So we've got pot one and pot two. So to land up in pot one, you needed to have won your group, and to land in pot two, you needed to finish second in your group. So the only exception for this will be in Old Gen, where we have 18 teams in pot one and 14 teams in pot two. So in Old Gen, potentially we will have first versus first. Nobody wants that fixture, but yeah, we'll go into it. All right, so we will start with New Gen. And yeah, as we go cracking into that, let's have a look. Okay, let's have a look see over here. Okay, so as you can see, pot one, Yummie popcorn chocolate and almond flavor. Right. So we're going to shake it. Out we go with team number one. Team number one is Kenyovi FC. Kenyovi FC. So Kenyovi is first on the list. First on the list. First on the hit list. Right. Now, who shall be their opponents? Right. There we go. Kenyovi's opponents will be Blue Lions. Blue Lions. So our first fixture in the New Gen Cup. Kenyovi versus Blue Lions. Right. Just give me a second over there. Right. Back to pot one we go. Back to pot one we go. And who do we have? We have the Majitas who like them Vaseline. Vaseline boys. Vaseline boys. In fixture two. Fixture two, Vaseline boys. Who shall be their opponents? So I just readjust over here. You guys can see. Right. Okay, their opponents. Their opponents is SA Lakers. SA Lakers. So game number two, Vaseline Boys versus SA Lakers. Right. Seems like a favorable one there for the Vaseline Boys, drawing one of the teams from the bottom. Right. Back we go into pot number one. Pot number one gives us WPS Sporting. WPS Sporting. WPS Sporting for fixture number 3. Right. Who shall be their opponents? Their opponents shall be Peacemakers FC from the championship. Peacemakers FC from the championship. Let me know if the representatives from those teams, what you guys think about that fixture. What do you guys think about that fixture? All right. Now we're moving. And next out of pot one, Traumatic X. Traumatic X. Fixture number 4, Traumatic X. Keenan, Keegan, come now. Right, next out of pot number 2. Next out of pot number 2 is, tasty. FCF 36. FCF 36. Tasty fixture, the first one. First tasty one. Right, as tasty as the yummy popcorn. Come on now. Right, next out of pot number 1. Next out of pot number 1 is TMTFC. 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 And then next out of pot number 2. Yeah, what do you mean by that? RIP to who? Come on. It's TMTFC versus Africa Unite. TMTFC versus Africa Unite. Right? TMTFC versus Africa Unite. Right. Next one out of pot number 1. Next one out of pot number 1. Next one out. It's Dames' favorite team name to pronounce. El Ittifaqi. El Ittifaqi. Next out of pot 1 in fixture 6. El Ittifaqi. Right. Next out of pot number 2. The spots are starting to become lighter. Whoa! 11 Maris just came into the chat and here they come out of the jar. Well done. El Ittifaqi versus 11 Maris. Up the Mari biscuits. Up the Mari biscuits. Mari biscuits and yummy popcorn, a combination you didn't know you needed. Right. Next out of pot 1, CS Dragons. CS Dragons. Fixture number 7. CS Dragons. Right, next out of pot number 2. I love the banter in the comment section. Keep it going, boys. Keep it going. Right. Just give me 1 second here. Pot number 2. Is Tok Toki. Knock Knock FC. MF. Knock Knock MF. All the big championship boys are coming out now. That's a straight championship fixture over there. Knock Knock MF versus CS Dragons. Fixtures are looking good so far. 2 tasty ones so far, we would say. Next out of pot one, we have the team that is known by three names: DSG Beasts, IE Pirates, IE Ballers. DSG Beasts. DSG Beasts. Home leg in fixture number 8. Then, next, out of pot number 2. Next out of pot number 2, we have a team who is resurgent in the championship right now. Two Touch FC. Two Touch FC. Two Touch FC. So that's gonna be a nice tough fixture for them to go up against. I believe a team who is either first or second in the Prem right now. So here we go. Next out of pot number 1. Here we go. Here come the big boys. It's VSQ Ballers. VSQ Ballers. VSQ Ballers. Home fixture and fixture number 9. Next out of pot number 2. Let's give it a nice whoa over there. Next is Bad Company FC. Bad Company FC. So Ballers versus Bad Company FC. That is not a nice one. Right. Let's have some comments there. How's the luck going so far? How's the luck going so far? Right. Next out of pot number 1. The next big boy on the list. Zamalek FCC. Zamalek FCC. Zamalek FCC. Fixture number 10. Home. Next one out of pot number 2. Who's next to be punished? Right. I was hoping it was less blues, but it's all about the Mach. All about the Mach. Zamalek versus all about the Mach. Some teams are dodging some bullets. Some teams are dodging some bullets. Others not so much. Next, out of pot number 1, we have the boys from the retail sector. Checkmarts. 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 Next out of pot number 2, we have somebody. This is fate. I'm not gonna say anything, I'm just gonna do this. Checkmarts versus RBZA. Oh boy. Oh. For those in New Gen who know, if you know, you know. If you don't know, forget about it. Right. Pot number 1. Next up is City Lads. City Lads. That's fixture number 12. I'm not scripting nothing. It's all happening right here in front of you. Right. Who's next? Who's next? Who's next? City Lads versus 11 Gents FC. City Lads versus 11 Gents FC. City Lads versus 11 Gents FC. Alright, guys. Stop crying. Here's the jar. Here's the jar. This is what I've been doing the whole time. Come now. Right. Next. Fear nobody. Fear nobody. A contentious little draw over there. I know a lot of people have got it out there for fear nobody. Ja visible. If I was peeping before I pulled out my man, I would have gave you Zamalek, no problem. You saw I did not do this on purpose. I did not. I'm not going to say anything. I got my rematch. Rematch granted. FNB Fear Nobody versus Les Blues. Right. There's only like 2 over here left, I think. 3. 3 fixtures left to be filled. Fixture 14 home game is Cyber Brothers. Fixture 14 home game is Cyber Brothers. Pot number 2. Cyber Brothers versus Festive AS. Cyber Brothers versus Festive AS. Right. 2 more fixtures to go. 2 more fixtures to go. Bogman FC. Bogman FC. Bogman FC. Bogman FC. The cup will be 2 legs, Joshua. 2 legs. Bogman versus Elite CPT. It's a prem fixture. Elite CPT versus Bogman. And then last but not least, not even going to do the swirling. I'm sure Sylvain, you would have figured this out by now. Celestial Dragons EFC. And Prestige Gaming. Celestial Dragons versus Prestige Gaming. That is your new gen bracket. I will pull it up on screen now. If you just give me one moment. Right. Those are your fixtures. So just to recap, Ken Yovi versus Blue Lions, Vaseline Boys versus SA Lakers, WPS Sporting versus Peacemakers, Dramatic versus FCF36, TMT versus Africa Unite, El Etifaki versus 11 Marius, CS Dragons versus Knock Knock MF, DSG Beast versus Two Touch FC, Bowlers versus Bad Company FC, Zamalek FCC versus All About the Mach, Checkmarts versus RBZA. I know we're all going to be looking forward to that one. City Lads versus 11 Gents FC. Fear Nobody versus Les Blues, who has become the championship rivalry. Cyber Brothers versus Festive AS. Bogman FC versus Elite CPT. And Celestial Dragons versus Prestige Gaming. that is it for new gen. That is it for new gen, and now I've lost everything. Just give me a second. All right. Let's just see. Doesn't look like I can share anything anymore. That is a shame. Just give me a second while I battle through these technical difficulties here. Right. Okay. I am no longer gonna be able to, it seems, share that. Something is going on the side. Just bear with me. Okay. All right. So just to restock the pots. So as you can see, in my hands are the winning pot. Those who have won their groups. In they go into pot number 1. Right. So that should be all 18 of them. That is my travel. When it's time to travel, when it's time to go see the boys in Cape Town. Know what I mean? So yeah, just give me a second. I have a very sophisticated system here, making sure I don't get confused between pot 1 and 2. Right, these are all pot number 2. Into pot number 2, there you go. All right. Elgin. Let me just see if I can do this. Okay. Let's go through these technical difficulties and just go and roll with it. Right, so pot 1 for Elgin. Pot 1 for Elgin. We have don't press FC. Don't press FC. Moet my nie druk nie. Asseblief. Don't press FC. Don't press FC. What the first home game. Right. And we go into pot number 2. Into pot number 2. Durban Josie FC. Durban Josie FC. Durban Josie FC. Right. Back into pot 1 we go. Pot 1. Pot 1 gives us Imtiaz's former team, Saints Row FC. Saints Row FC. Saints Row FC. Fixture number 2. The away fixture. The away team rather. Mayhem FC. Mayhem FC. So Saints Row versus Mayhem FC. You want the invite to the stream, my man? I like presidential guests there, Wes. Right. Back into the face cam. As requested. We listen. Pot 1. Celesal. Seleção is team 1. Seleção, the Brazilians. Into pot 2 we go. Into pot number 2. Pot number 2. We have Kaapstad Rangers. Kaapstad Rangers FC. Kaapstad Rangers FC. Kaapstad Rangers. Some representation for the Cape. Right. Fixture number 4. Fixture number 4. Who people are banging to go to the top of the Premiership? The Lads. The Lads FC. The Lads FC. Mabena are holding a very slender lead there in the Premiership now. So, yeah. Let's see who they get. Let's see who they get. They get the Gebrownies. It is the Lads FC versus Gebrownies FC. It's good you have the suit. You've got their position to represent. It's going to be a presidential affair in the Lads versus Gebrownies. Right. Salty Boys. Fixture number 5. Salty Boys. Salty Boys. And they will get some of those were stuck there. They will get Hustlers FC. Hustlers FC. Hustlers FC. Absolutely good. Good matchup. We are back in pot 1, where we have the Galockians. The Galockians, and they will take on the local boys. Galockians versus the local boys. Galockians versus the local boys. Back to pot number 1. Pot number 1. Seems like there was more scripting in the new gen than it is over here on the old gen. Serious stuff. Serious stuff. Serious stuff with the home fixture in fixture number 5. Number 7. Apologies. Back into pot number 2. And we have the Goldbridge boys. Goldbridge boys. Serious stuff versus the Goldbridge boys. That should be an interesting fixture. Goldbridge boys back into form. Right. For those who are still in the stream, come on, who you guys repping? Who are you guys repping? Who are you? Where and where are you from? Right. I know people have been waiting for this one. Out of pot number 1, fixture number 8, RBZA Evo. RBZA Evo. Will they have better luck than their new gen counterparts? Find out when I pull out the next name. Right. We've got my Bena boys who let us cook. Will this be any of them? No. Looks like they got an easy one. It's ZA Footy. ZA Footy. RBZA Evo versus ZA Footy. Very nice. Back to pot number 1. Right. Pot numero uno. We have the reigning, defending, undisputed champions, Kid Clan. Kid Clan. The surprise package from last season. Looking to make it back to back. Looking to make it back to back. Who are the opponents? The opponents are Edgelords. Edgelords. Kid Clan versus Edgelords. What a fixture. What a fixture. Right. Back in to pot number 1. Who did I do dirty, Scott? Tell me, let me know. Right. Fixture number 10, home. MBEFC. MBEFC. And then, who will their opponents be? There's not a lot left in this jar, so people should start getting nervous. We have what must have some of my favorite players in the SAPL. MBEFC versus SAPL Spinal Cord. SAPL Spinal Cord. Dokotela Mpati. Respect, my man. SAPL Spinal Cord. Right. Back into pot number 1. Back into pot number 1. We have Mavericks FC. Mavericks. We're going to Mavericks FC. Mavericks FC, and they will be taking on the Uganda Cranes. Mavericks versus Uganda Cranes. Right, we got 5 fixtures left. 5 fixtures left. Welcome, the originals. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Righto. So people have been waiting for this one as well. Fixture number 12, home game, Mabena FC. Mabena FC. Mabena, don't disappoint. Mabena FC. And then we've got, who are the opponents? 3-2 Esports. 3-2 Esports. 3-2 Esports. Four more fixtures to go. 4 more fixtures to go. Fixture number 13, home is El Taketake. El Taketake. And their opponents, there's only 2 left in here. Only 2 left in here. El Taketake versus Team Supreme. Team Supreme. El Taketake versus Team Supreme. Right. Back into pot 1. We have the team I put parties on. Ultimate 11. Ultimate 11. Fixture number 14. Ultimate 11. And then the last one, as you can see, there's nothing more. Simba Esports, Ultimate 11 versus Simba Esports. Now this means only one thing. So the remainder of the teams are in pot 1. These 4 teams have finished their group number 1. They finished its number 1 and they're about to face off each other. So one could say this is an unfavorable draw. Maybe not. Depends. Was the group easy? Let's find out. Let's find out. We have the Saudis clan. The Saudis clan gets home ground advantage for game number 1. The Saudis clan. Right. We go back. We go back. The Saudis clan will take on Royalty ZA. Royalty ZA. Royalty ZA. And then the last fixture. Who gets home ground advantage? So I'll take them both out. And then we'll say, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, da 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 da. Home advantage. Castaways FC. Castaways FC. And they will face off against the Kings 11. The Kings 11. And let's see if my PC will work with me now. Okay, so fixture number 1, Down Press FC versus Durban Josie FC. Fixture number 2, Saints Row FC versus Mayhem FC. Fixture number 3, Celesau versus Kaapstad Rangers. Fixture 4, The Lads FC versus Gebrouwnes FC. Fixture number 5, Salty Boys versus Hustlers FC. Fixture number 6, Galockians versus the Local Boys. Fixture number 7, Serious Stuff versus Goldbridge Boys. Fixture number 8, RBZA Evo versus ZA Footy. Fixture number 9, Kid Clan versus Edgelords. Fixture number 10, MBEFC versus SAPL Spinal Cord. Fixture number 11, Mavericks FC versus Uganda Cranes. Fixture number 12, Mabena FC versus 328 Sports. Fixture number 13, El Taketake versus Team Supreme. Fixture number 14, Ultimate 11 versus Simba Esports. Fixture number 15, the Saudis Clan versus Royalty ZA. Fixture number 16, Castaways FC versus Kings 11. Right. So that is the end of the stream, and we will make the fixtures available on the site. We'll see if we can get something onto socials a bit sooner, but in the meantime, peace out. We out.